Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I actually got the microphone working this week. No Zoom show. We're in person. But this dummy right here, Caden Loutzenhiser. Caden, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. And then we have a new guest right here. He played baseball with us. A good friend of ours, Griffin Richardson. Griffin, how we doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Not too bad. Now, I know we discussed this already, and I already forgot. Do you guys want me to do this the whole time, or do you want to actually hold the microphone? It's up to you.
I'm fine with that. I don't care.
We can stick with that. That's fine.
All right, that's fine. But yeah. So these next 2 weeks are gonna be like this. Next week I'm not gonna be on, so Alex will be on with AJ next week, and I gotta remember not to look here, but look there at the light. Yeah, I do that all the time during the Zoom shows. Like I literally look. Like you notice how I'm like looking down all the time on the Zoom shows.
Yeah, you just kind of stare off like an idiot.
Yeah. That's literally what I do because I forget. Oh wait, the camera's up here, not in here. But all jokes aside though, we had one of our old teammates. His name was Francisco Dominguez. He passed away this week, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't know about you guys. I didn't really know Francisco that well. He was he was on the team and everything, but the one thing I can say on being on the team with Francisco, and you guys can probably agree too. You can chime in if you want to. Is like every time, especially like our senior year, every time he went on the field, he brought it. He was a fighter and worked hard every practice, every game he was put in. Like he was a fighter. He was a fighter, and he just gone just way too soon, just way too soon. So we got prayers going to Francisco's family and everything. And is there anything you guys want to say about Francisco? What you remember from him?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I just always remember Frankie as he was always one of the smallest kids on the team, but he always brought one of the biggest presences on the field. I remember there was a game, I forget what team it was, but it was like the biggest, baddest pitcher we'd seen all year, and he just went in there and got a base hit. He pinch hit for us all the time, and he always brought it. I mean, even in school, he always had a smile on his face. I mean, he was dealing with stuff that none of us were, and he brought it every day to practice, to school, and games, and he just had one of the best spirits. He was always smiling and laughing. I always loved being around him.
Yeah, what about you, Caden?
Oh, yeah. Like what Griffin said, he just always brought it to practice, games, school. One of the best kids you'd ever meet. Like, just a good soul.
Yeah, and I have a story that I remember with Francisco. I will say, I can't remember what year it was, but it was like out of practice, and I was probably just standing around doing nothing like I always did in baseball, but just for no reason at all, no reason, Francisco just walked up to me, opened up his hand, and just went whack, hit me right in the face. I was like, what was that for? He looked at me and he said, because I just wanted to do it. I was like, what did I do? I was like, I didn't do anything. But yeah, he's a good kid, and he'll be missed.
For sure.
I'll make sure to clip this and put it on Facebook, so then Mrs. Dominguez can see it, and all of his friends and family can see it. But
Yeah, prayers to Becky and all of her family. I mean, Becky was a huge part of the baseball program too. She was always around cheering us on. So thank you.
Yep. Thank you. But yeah. So now here we go. We're gonna try to give you a show. So Pirates.
Start of the season was promising, really promising. They were what? They were like 7th in the power rankings in all of baseball.
They're still in first.
They're doing great. They're still in first, but
Yeah, I mean,
they went on a streak with they played 10 games and they lost 9 of them. You just can't do that. And you
that's
get
June for the Pirates.
and you get beat by the Athletics. That can't happen. Also, 12-52.
A team that's they're having boycotts to sell the freaking team. That's crazy.
You want to know why they're still in first? Because the NL Central sucks. That's why they're in first.
Yeah, exactly.
I have the standings right here. The Pirates are 34-31, and then you go on to Milwaukee, who's 34-33, who's got pitching. They got pitching. They got Corbin Burns, Woodruff, That's probably like the only two guys I can remember. They don't have a lineup. Yelich, I'm sorry, he's not as good as he used to be. He's there we go. He's washed. He's washed. Cincinnati 33 and 35. Though they have been picking it up ever since they called up Ellie De La Cruz, who's going to be an absolute animal.
One of the best players in baseball.
Yeah, for sure. And then the Cubs are 29 and 37, but that doesn't matter because we lost 11-3 last night. And then St. Louis, the most disappointing team in the NL Central this year by far.
Yeah, one of the most disappointing teams in baseball.
Yeah, 27 and 41. How do you go 27 and 41 when you have Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Miles Michaelis? Yeah. Who else? Don't they have Wilson Contreras?
I'm not sure, but anyways, they just kind of.
You have a platinum glover. Yes. It doesn't matter. You should be able to win at least 30 games. Yeah.
This is why Brian Hayes is the best defensive third baseman in the National League.
Honestly, he might be. His defensive run saved is an insane stat.
Exactly.
Nothing's past him.
Yeah, literally nothing. Like you saw the dribblers. If you saw clips from last night, the dribblers that he just made it look easy. It looked like a tough play. He made it look easy.
Those are some of the hardest plays to make, and he's just so smooth with it.
It's just crazy. But yeah. So we're gonna start off with the first game against the Mets. They crushed them. In the ninth inning, Derek Sheldon decided, I'm gonna go ahead and put David Bednar in with a 14-3 lead. The final score was 14-7. What are you doing there, Derek? What are you doing there? Zoom into my zoom. You know what? Editing note. Zoom into my face. What are you doing, Derek? Shelty, put it in your closer. 14-3 lead. God, I almost dropped an F-bomb. There's been don't get me wrong. There's been times I almost dropped an F-bomb, and then I did drop an F-bomb. So, yeah, I should have.
We're being good.
Yeah, we're being good. All right, but so the notes I wrote down from this game. By the way, Jack Sawinski, I feel like is starting to pick it up a little bit. Yeah, he and Key Brian Hayes too.
I love Jack Sawinski.
Yeah. But this game for the Mets, their best hitter was Starling Marte. Very familiar name. And then McGill for the Mets, 3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs. Not good for the Mets, but.
And Marte's hitting what, 2 for them?
I think so. Yeah.
He's like a catalyst in the start of their lineup. Yeah. He just ever since he got to New York, he's been the guy, one of the guys for them.
He's just had a good baseball career in general.
Yeah. Then Jack Sawinski went 3 for 4, and Key Brian Hayes went 5 for 5 that game.
Yeah.
Very good. And then Rich Hill. All right, I will allow this one time. If you want to say Rich Hill's nickname, do you know what it is?
No. What is it? No, I'm not saying.
If you want to say it, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
What is it?
You want to say it?
Rich Hill, a.k.a. Dick Mountain.
No, first of all, we'll be fine saying that because Akers was on last week and he just randomly just blurted it out. So I was like, I guess that's staying on there or whatever. We won't go there. Maybe later, but we won't go there. But Rich Hill, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 6 Ks. Last 2 starts, man. My God, Rich Hill. Like I think I still have the notes from last week's on the back. Last week 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run against the Cardinals.
How many walks?
Of course, I didn't write it down. I didn't write it down. See, Alex and I like to do our notes an hour before the show.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just don't even do the notes. Yeah. So I think last week was like I finally decided to do the notes. But yeah, so very good start from Rich Hill. Is there anything you guys want to say about that? With honestly, the top guys in this game were Jack Sawinski, Key Brian Hayes, and Rich Hill.
I mean, how many hits did you say he had? 7. And how many innings pitched?
He had 7 hits and 7 innings. Yeah, so, gave up 2 runs.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's insane in the major leagues. But
43. He's 43.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, seems like he's keeping the walks low, and I mean, hitters are gonna get hits. We're
Yeah.
Everyone in the league right now is on fire.
If you're
So
playing
it's like,
professional baseball, then you're expected to get hits.
Yeah.
Pitcher's the hard job.
yeah,
Yeah. And I think didn't he get like 100 pitches that game? I think he did.
something like that.
near it.
He's still durable.
Yeah.
He's got the stamina to go deep into games.
Yeah, and he can't field a ball to save his life though. But neither can
That's
I.
what happens when you're 43.
But yeah, Rich Hill, God, just maybe trade value to the moon.
Just like everyone on the Pirates. You have one good season, you're gone.
Season,
we don't watch
it anymore.
No, wait a minute. They paid Brian Reynolds. They paid Brian Reynolds.
There's one.
There's one. That's one. We'll keep Brian Hayes 2. That's 2.
Yeah.
Nobody else gets a contract. So New York. So the next game they did lose 5-1. I didn't really watch this game. Yohan Oviedo, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 5K. Actually, I don't know. I feel like that's not bad. 6 innings. You only give up 4 hits.
Yeah,
You give up 2 runs. That's not bad.
Yeah.
You get the loss, but that's not bad.
I mean, I don't know what the walks were, but that's usually what kills.
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote 2 walks. I actually wrote that down.
So not even that bad. I mean, walks are gonna happen.
Yeah, but the Mets, just a bunch of guys just went 2 for 4, and then the Pirates, really the only top hitters, only had 1 hit this game. Brian Reynolds was 1 for 3, Connor Joe was 1 for 4, and then Carlos Santana was also 1 for 4. So though I didn't watch this game, I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say this was just one of those games the Pirates could not hit the ball at all, and it was just one of those frustrating offensive games. But yeah, so now game 3, this is good. This is good. They won 2-1, but most importantly, it was Andrew McCutchen's 2,000th hit.
That was awesome to see.
Yeah,
He
very.
broke the ball too.
Yeah, he did off of Carlos Carrasco. But yeah, and it's just crazy. Now, I got a question for you guys. Is Andrew McCutchen a Major League Baseball Hall of Famer?
That's hard. I mean, 2,000 hits. I mean, it's not 3,000 obviously, but there's only 5 guys on the active roster. I think that's what the stat was with 2,000 hits.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, he's been in the league now since
So long.
2009, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, remember that 2013 year with the Pirates? I mean, he's been great his whole career. He's been a great baseball player. He's had moments, but everybody has moments.
I think he had. I only remember one god awful season,
Yeah.
and that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, even when he was bouncing around teams after the Pirates, he was a guy in the lineup for all of those teams.
Giants.
Yeah, he was good for the Phillies. It was really good for the Phillies.
Well, another thing is I'm like yes and no, because yes, people consider Mike Trout as Hall of Famer right now. But how many rings has Mike Trout won?
Exactly. That's the only debate. But the MVPs, what he does day in, day out. Mike Trout could go 0 for 5 in a game and save the game by robbing a home run. He's just unbelievable.
Brian Reynolds is better this year. Look at the stats. Look at the stats.
Actually, he kind of fell off when he got that paycheck.
Shut up. It's my show. Shut up.
But I'd say we signed back McCutchen to a 2-year deal.
Okay.
2+.
Okay. That's.
He's
I just think at this point, why get rid of him?
How old is he?
36.
36, 37.
But he's he's in good shape.
Yeah.
It never looks like he's tired or
He hasn't declined. I mean, obviously he's not going to be an all-star like he was.
Yeah.
2010, 2013,
but guys also weren't throwing 105
exactly.
and with sinkers that move at 95 it's just crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. But he's definitely a Pittsburgh Pirate all-time great though. That's not even a debate.
Yeah.
It's not even a debate. He's up there with Clemente, Stargell. Yeah, okay, those guys won championships, but you just think about what McCutchen's done for the city of Pittsburgh. It's just that's just enough to make him an all-time great for the Pirates.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since he was there was a documentary on him. He was 8 years old. He was I'm playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, everybody loves him here.
Yeah.
He loves the city too. He said whenever he would, because he still lived in Pittsburgh when he played for other teams. He said when he would drive past the stadium, he couldn't even look at it because he wanted to be there so bad.
It's the most beautiful stadium in baseball. I'll back that 100%.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best stadium I've ever been to. I've been to Petco. I've been to the Milwaukee one. I don't even know what it's called. But easily best stadium.
Yes.
And even like when I was in San Diego, I met. There was a family that we met that said that they traveled to every single stadium, and they said easily by far the best stadium they've been to is PNC Park.
Oh, yeah. The Pittsburgh backdrop is just insane.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But okay, so yeah, McCutcheon got his 2005. After the game, it was kind of. Did you see the clip of when they gave him the baseball in the back?
Yeah, with his kids.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Well, that too, but like when Derek Sheldon presented the ball to him.
Oh, no, I didn't see
Oh,
that.
they were all like, ah! And then he said, I'm going to be honest. I thought I was going to get 2,000 about 5 years ago. McCutcheon's funny. But no, after this, you guys got to see the... if you remind me, I'll show it to you. Did you see the... do you guys know who John Boy is? He's a YouTuber that like does like lip reading of like that just clears anybody gets ejected.
Oh, yeah.
That guy?
Yeah, I've seen him.
Did you see the video of when they hit McCutcheon, like the Cubs hit, this is when he was with Milwaukee, when the Cubs pitcher hit McCutcheon with, I think he started with a cutter on the first pitch and then finally hit him on the second because they were just going back and forth.
No, I didn't see it.
It was funny because McCutcheon, once he got hit, he was like, there you go. That a baby, you did it. Good job. he's hilarious. But now this game, Jack Sawinski went 2 for 4, but I know McCutcheon. It was his only hit, 1 for 3. But still,
That's all that matters.
it's all that matters. It's all that matters. That one hit, it's all that matters. But another stellar performance by Mitch Keller, man. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 7 Ks. Last 2 starts before this one, he was cooled down a little bit. But like this one, he finally picked it up a little bit again, I'd say. But do you guys think Mitch Keller is going to be an All-Star this year?
I don't know, man. I mean, he's got a lot of good stuff. His stuff explodes out of his hand. But
I think he could be because some games he pitches, it's just like nobody can touch him. And like I don't remember seeing it last year, but the movement he's been putting in the balls this year are like I've never seen that before. It's crazy.
Oh God, it is crazy. Bednar's for sure going to be an All-Star. Like it's David Bednar, but Mitch Keller I think will join him. I think because of just how much he's cooled down, I don't think Brian Reynolds is going to make it. But
there's too many good outfielders and utility guys.
Brian Reynolds does kind of suck. I don't think we should actually sign him. But
out, get out of my house, get off my property. But yeah, really, I mean, there isn't really much to talk about with Game 3 against the Mets other than McCutcheon's 2000th hit.
It wasn't a very exciting game.
Yeah, 2-1. I mean, a lot of 2-1 games this year in the Pirates.
A win's a win.
Yep, there you go. A win's a win. Trying to think back, I don't think when we played, we've like how many 2-1 games have we had? I can't really remember that many.
Like us?
Yeah, us. Yeah, playing Greenville.
We always had like high scoring games. We'd always rally.
Yeah, because we didn't have pitching.
It was just back and forth hitting.
We'd be position players coming in on the mound and be like, here's 75 right down the plate. Hit it.
I wonder who gave up most of those runs when we played.
Me.
Caden knows exactly who I'm talking about.
I'll take the blame as me.
Oh, all right. I guess we'll go with Griffin. But yeah, so that's that from the Mets. But last night, Jamison Taillon, who's been struggling this year, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 Ks. Shocker. Luis Ortiz, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 Ks. Whatever. I think I would consider that as a whatever start for Luis Ortiz. But Jack Sawinski hit 2 home runs. Good for Jack. But that's pretty much all the offense the Pirates had that game.
Yeah, he went 2 for 2 home runs, and that was about it.
God, and then Dansby Swanson 2 for 5. But yeah,
I hate Dansby.
Same.
I can't stand him.
hate Dansby Swanson.
All I know is that I stopped watching at the 5th, and it was like 4-3 or whatever. Then I turned the game back on, and it was 11-3. I was like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, it's normally how Pirates games go. Stop watching for an inning or 2. You come back, there's 6 more runs on the table.
Yeah. But I really do not want to talk about this game anymore. It's just a mess of a game.
Talk about how much we hate Dansby.
Oh, go ahead.
Do Did you actually see that he has one of the lowest arm velos in the at shortstop in the whole major league? It's like 79.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Yeah, but how's he he's still good.
Yeah, it's just
So it's annoying.
yeah.
You got O'Neal Cruz throwing freaking 97 mile an hour across the diamond, and Dansby's throwing 79.
We need to put O'Neal Cruz in the outfield.
Honestly, he'd probably run everything down.
Probably.
Well, considering the amount of middle infielders the Pirates have in their farm system, that's probably not out of the realm of possibility in the future.
Shortstop, he can just stop everything because he's 6'8".
Yeah.
He can lay across the field.
Yeah.
He's like 10 from his arm to his feet. He's like 10 feet.
Yeah, but if you put him in the outfield, he's running everything down.
Oh yeah.
And then he can just worry about hitting.
Exactly.
Because there's going to be games where he's not going to get a single fly ball.
Yeah. Exactly.
And what happened? His arm strength from the outfield, he's
chop.
gunning everyone out at home.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, that would actually be crazy to see.
He threw 97 from the infield. Imagine from the outfield when he gets a running start.
Yeah, crow hop and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nuts.
Yeah, it would be nuts. But looking at the pitching for the next games tonight, the new guy we just called up, I can't remember what his first name was. I know it was something. The reason I didn't write it down is because I couldn't pronounce it. So it's Bibbo versus Drew Smiley. And then the last game, Rich Hill, Mr. Dick Mountain over here, versus Marcus Stroman. And then we head to Milwaukee, as it will be Oviedo versus Tehran, Keller versus Wade Miley, I think. And then Roansy Contreras versus... Why is he starting? Why is he starting? Nobody wants to see Contreras this year because his development is terrible. Why is he starting? God. And then they don't have anybody up for the June 19th. I'm actually going to be at the reason why I'm not going to be here next week is the Pirate game, June 21st. Well, we shoot the show on Wednesday, then it goes out on Thursday. But Johan Oviedo will take on Kyle Hendricks. I'll be at that game. I miss Dick Mountain by a day, but then they'll head to Miami. So I'm tired about talking about the Pirates. Just kidding. We got to talk about Ben Cherington's trades and grade them. I think we can all agree though, the best trade in the last. Though it was depressing that McCutchen was traded, that was probably out of Neil Huntington's trades. That was probably his best one he made because. Years later, you got McCutchen back anyway, and you still have Brian Reynolds, so that was probably his best trade. We don't need to talk about Chris Archer.
Yeah.
So I think the way we can do this is I will go over the trades, then I'll say the trade, and then we give a grade in our opinion. Or I could just say the trade, honestly, just the trade, and we can give our opinion of what grade so far is. Yeah. So I have about 8 trades from the Ben Cherington era so far. And definitely up and down trades. Definitely up and down. But all right, we're gonna start with Josh Bell. As we sent Josh Bell to the Washington Nationals in 2020, we got an Eddie Yean, who I don't even think is in the minors anymore. I think he's not even in the Pirate system anymore. And Will Crow. D-.
That was a bad trade.
Very bad trade.
Yeah, I'm going worse than D-.
It didn't even make
F.
trade just didn't
It
make sense.
It made no sense. And he went and played for what were they? They had 19 wins at some point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was their best player. He was hitting 310,
Exactly.
hitting home runs from both sides of the plate. It made no sense to me.
No.
Terrible. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ashamed of yourself. But next, Jacob Stallings. I'm going to go C because Connor Scott, from what I've seen in the minors in Double-A, he may have something. Needs a little bit more seasoning, but I think he's something. And Kyle Nicholas has actually been pretty decent in Double-A. The only reason why it's a C is because of how terrible Zach Thompson was, who we also got from that deal when we sent over Jacob Stallings to the Marlins. So I'm going to go with C.
Go C+.
Yeah, C or C. The deal was kind of broke even. It didn't really.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just there.
Yeah.
Got a lot of players. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of promise, but
As a UPS truck is probably going to be backing into my house in a little bit. But hey, recording. God. This next one, I'm interested to see what you guys say. Sending over to the San Diego Padres, Adam Frazier, as we received Michael Milano, Tucapita Marcano, and Jack Sawinski. At first, I did not like the trade. I thought it was probably going to end up being a D, but so far, I think it's a C+. The reason why I say C+, yes, Jack Sawinski has been heating up, and Marcano's been pretty good since O'Neal Cruz is gone. Nothing lights out, nothing like incredibly special like that. But I think it's worked out. Plus, Frazier's not even with the Padres anymore.
He's with the
Orioles.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: Frazier's not doing that great this year. So I don't think he's batting like he did 320 when he was with the Pirates.
Yeah, I know. But looking at average in the major leagues is always like a misconception. Like Adley Rutschman right now is hitting 270.
Yeah.
I went and saw him at Yankee Stadium before I came home from school, and he went 0 for 5 with like 4 laced balls, just right at people. That's what I'm.
You can still be striping the ball, but you just get out. There's sometimes you can't. I mean, you can't control.
I mean, there's
some
guys
of
who are 0 for 20 at some point,
Yeah.
and they've got 10 hard hit balls just right at people.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. But like my point is, like, we traded him when he was batting 320.
Yeah.
I feel like we probably could have got a lot more out of that, in my opinion.
I mean, I put a D on it. I give it a D.
Really?
I loved Adam Frazier, and he hit leadoff for us, and he finding a solid leadoff guy, he couldn't do that day in and day out. Like hitting leadoff is one of the hardest things to do.
Definitely.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, you didn't give a grade.
I'll give it like a C, but I do like Sawinski. I'm a pretty big fan of him.
That's probably
He's been heating
positive
up.
part of it.
Marciano, I think he's not going to fill the shoes of O'Neal Cruz, but he has been doing good batting this year. I think he's walked off and won at least 3 or 4 games for us so far. I was at a game 2 weeks ago when he did.
Yep. All right, next one, Clay Holmes. We sent him to the New York Yankees for Diego Castillo in Hoyt Park. D-.
Yeah.
Yeah, D- like an F. It wasn't a good trade.
It wasn't a good trade, though. Clay Holmes isn't as good as he was last year, but still.
I feel like they just pick out of a hat.
No, they do.
Like,
Some of the trades.
who are we giving away today?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Clay Holmes wasn't that great with the Pirates either. But I think you blame that on coaching, too.
There is so many people who have. It might be something wrong with the Pirates' development, because there's been so many stars that have come out right after they leave the Pirates.
It's like, or they don't give people like you're allowed to have an off season. Like it's
we
baseball.
literally had Garrett Cole.
Yeah, we had Garrett Cole. Like, he went away. That's why.
That trade was terrible, too.
Yeah, there's another D- right there.
Joe Musgrove.
Yeah.
That pisses me off because he was carving last year.
Just wait. We'll get to Joe in a second. Well, no. You're going to be shocked at what my grade is, actually. Tyler Anderson. That was probably a name that a lot of people probably didn't expect to be on this list, but there's a reason. We got a catcher. I think his name was like Abram Gutierrez or something. We got him from the Phillies. The reason why that's on there is because after Tyler Anderson left, he became an all-star. So that's probably a D+.
It's a common courtesy. It's what the Pirates do best.
Like you said, every time somebody leaves the Pirates,
You're gonna be an all-star, you know it.
So there's that. Richard Rodriguez, F, because Bryce Wilson sucked. Yeah. Okay. Kevin Newman, B. Money Moretta, baby. I'm giving that a B. Moretta's been lights out so far.
C+.
C+, all right.
I'll give it a B.
That's fair. But the last one, Griffin's already talked about it. Joe Musgrove. No, not an F. Because do you remember who we got in that trade? Endy Rodriguez and David Bednar. Yeah.
You know, David Bednar, he's one of the best closers in the league, I think. But I don't...
And Endy has some promise.
Yeah, but I think that we could have been fine just keeping Joe.
That's fair.
I'm just so sick of watching Pirates be traded, and then they're amazing.
Yeah.
Like, he was carving last year.
Yeah.
Like, there was a point in time, at the end of the season.
Train.
Hey!
1 second. I might have to edit this out. I might have to edit this
I know
out.
it's gonna be like a mile-long train.
Yeah.
You know what? Hold this.
What are you gonna do, Mike?
You gonna run after it like a...
So wet. He said out for Mike's back.
All right, no, I'm definitely keeping that in. What were we talking about before that?
Joe
Musgrove. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you can argue. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he did become a star after he left, but it's about the returns, man. It's about the returns, and I feel like you. Okay, I say B for right now, but I feel like you gotta wait and see what Andy Rodriguez does first once he gets to the majors.
Well,
I'm saying that.
I'm gonna say like a D because one of the guys isn't even with us right now. He's not even playing with us. And Bednar, he's a good closer, but I feel like
He's not Joe Musgrove.
he hasn't. I don't feel like Bednar's like saved us this year. He just went in and did his job.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Musgrove has single-handedly won games.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
Bednar, go in for half an inning and don't lose.
Like Joe Musgrove is a guy that I want on the mound. Like he's one of those guys that you can put on the mound and you know he's gonna give his best stuff.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like, oh, maybe he's gonna strike him out on 3 pitches, or maybe he's gonna 4-pitch walk him. Like that doesn't happen with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely fair. But yeah, that's all the trades we got. So for our last thing, and this train is really pissing me off. Yeah. I figured we talk about, since we all played on the same baseball team, we talk about stuff that happened in the past and what it was like playing on the same team. I was on the bench, so I can't. I'm kidding. Well, minus the last year, but no. God, going back from Little League, yeah, it's just playing a lot. Now there was this. I will say this: the biggest.
It's over.
It's over. All right. What were we talking about?
Our baseball pass.
Baseball pass. All right. There was one year where I just decided not to play in Little League. That was the biggest mistake because like that's when we were all in the what they called it, which was the majors, which was at the time it was the White Sox and was it Red Sox? Red Sox?
It was just those two.
Yeah.
Whenever it got to our age.
It used to be more.
Yeah.
But it changed.
That was the like one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made was taking that year off. That was absolutely the biggest mistake. If I could take it back and play, I would have. I even remember Ickes' dad came. They came like it was the day of the tryouts or whatever, and he looked at me. He's like, "You need to play." And looking back at it, I'm like, "You should have dragged me out of my house." But yeah, was there anything from Little League? I mean, wait, did you play with us in that senior league year? I can't remember.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
No, not with Coach Penny.
Yeah, with Penny.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah, really, that's probably like because that was still technically Little League, senior league, kind of.
Yeah, I guess.
To an extent.
I remember getting so much crap talked on me for that.
We wanted you on there.
No, I just remember. No, I know, but I remember there was like 3 or 4 dudes who would text me after the game. I'm not gonna say who, but like they were like, "You suck anyways. Like we don't want you here." Like I was like, "All right, man, appreciate it."
That's. I mean, I would say that's probably my biggest thing from Little League was winning that championship and.
For me, I mean, that was great, but like even like from T-ball up until senior year of high school baseball, it was just fun. Like I just enjoyed playing baseball with my friends.
Mhm.
Obviously, I took it seriously sometimes, but like overall, like even when we were losing, we were winning, we'd always look at each other in the dugout and just smile, crack some. It was just fun.
For sure.
Was there anything from Little League? I mean, I remember the one year when we were on the White Sox. I was in left field, you were in center, and it was like a pitching change. We were just playing basketball with our gloves.
Yeah, we would always screw around the outfield. I was like, I remember that. I was like, man, I'm just trying to go swing. Like, I just want to hit. I don't want to be out here. But nah, in all honesty, Little League was probably the most fun I've had playing baseball.
Yeah.
Like that, like 8 through 12.
Yeah.
Like that was just, it was all fun. There was no, like, no one was yelling, no one was angry. Like,
I was angry. I was a brat. You could say it. I was a brat. I deserve all that crap. Look at me. I'm a changed man right now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Yeah, definitely. Look at me now. But yeah. So I will say from Little League, I wish I could go back and slap some sense into me because I definitely you both you can agree. I probably thought I was like the stud. Like I thought I was gonna like hit so many home runs or whatever. Got way too in my head. Blamed other people because of it. But that's what happens when you're a kid. You think you're the stud, and you're not looking at reality.
That's just a kid. That's just baseball. That's how baseball works.
Yeah, for real. But going into once we got to high school, I mean our freshman year, that was by far my favorite year of baseball because I knew that year there was no chance I was gonna play varsity. There was no way. I mean, it would have been nice to play with my brother, but I was like, "There's no way." That's fine. That's fine. So I just put my head down, played, and when I wasn't concerned about playing, look what happened. I had probably my best year. but this guy right here though, varsity started since freshman year. But really, the only thing I can really think of from that year was the semifinal game against Franklin. Yeah, even
that was amazing.
The only reason I probably felt the same as like my brother's friends and everything was because like I always was like I was the younger brother at like the parties at like the Guilfoyles, and I was always there. So it's like I kind of grew up with them a little bit. So it's like I didn't want it to end.
Yeah, no, that was.
So it's
Jamin, oh my
God, I was in tears going into the last because I didn't want it to end. But when John King, it was he. But by the way, I think it was Josh Hill. He hit that pop fly with like 2 outs.
He dropped it.
Exactly. That could have ended our season right there.
And then didn't Trap get a hit, and then John was up. John tied it by hitting an infield single to second base.
He was safe by like this much.
That was wild.
This much, and then Jamin came in and
saved the day.
Line drives. Usual. But here's the thing too. And you can consider this as whatever you want to, maybe a little shot at like the WGRP. First, I will say this: Steve Williams, great guy. I'll say this. But here's the thing: the one thing they don't like to mention. Yes, Jamin Wentling saved. We would not have gotten to D10. But guess who saved the day? Guess who saved the day? We would not have made it to that game if it wasn't for one guy.
Your brother.
My brother, who hit I think it was a 2-run double.
No, I think he cleared the bases.
He might have.
Against Gerard, right?
Yeah, it was against Gerard. Yeah, Benny was the reason we got to that semifinal game, and they never mentioned. They might have mentioned it when I was playing my senior year, but from what I can remember, they just never mentioned it.
We had our backs against the wall, and I think every game. No, we had the lead in the D10 championship, right?
I think so.
That was weird. Like we weren't used to it. Gerard and then Franklin, yeah, we were losing, and then Benny saved the day though, for sure.
I remember when you went out for the pregame introductions, and Benny always tells the story how Benny looked at Connor and they looked at you and they said to you, "What are you doing out here?"
Yeah. Dude, they hated me. All of them hated me. Like. I just got bullied my whole freshman year. It was fun.
You want to know who the only one that wasn't getting bullied that year?
Who? You?
Me. Yeah. Because I remember when Ickes told me to take like the baseballs to the bus.
Yeah. No,
and Zach Zach Gentili looked at Ickes and said, "Ickes, take the balls now. Mike, come walk with me." You can imagine how he was feeling at the end of that. But yeah, that was fun. Sophomore year, season didn't go well, and I will say this: my goal was to play a game. To start a varsity game before my junior year or senior year.
You did.
And I did. A lot of people didn't agree with it, but guess what? I did. And compared to those people that said I wasn't going to do it, they're probably just white trash hanging at the bar getting fat right now. And I'm not scared to say that. I mean, you know exactly who I'm talking about. We don't need to mention names, but am I wrong?
I have no idea who you're talking about. It's been a long time.
But junior year it did get cut short because of COVID. So wait, did you come sophomore year or junior year?
Freshman year was the year that I took off. Definitely never should have taken a year off of baseball.
You played sophomore year and started.
Yeah, I played sophomore, junior, and senior year.
I mean, is there anything you can remember from the sophomore year? I feel like
Um,
we're leaving you out of this.
No, I was letting you guys talk about because freshman year, even I would go to all your guys' games. It was awesome to watch.
Mhm.
But
You didn't track.
yeah, I did.
Mr. Hayes
I did
sucked you
track.
into it.
Oh,
But then, no, I was really glad to come back. It was, even though stuff got messed up, COVID and weird stuff happening, but it was just the most fun of my life playing high school baseball with my friends.
I will say though, I was a little upset because I had put in all that work trying to reach those goals, and then just got it taken away. So I kind of wish I took it a little bit more serious in the summer, which it's fine. It's fine. It happens. But senior year, maybe you should take the microphone. I mean, I've been a little vocal about what happened. I mean, it's water under the bridge now. We're all adults. We move on. I'm gonna be real. I probably would be in the same position in life as I am right now, even if I played. So I don't care. It's like I don't care anymore. And trust me. I got in the future. We'll have a lot of other things to do. But and let's be real here. In my opinion, I think having my name mentioned on the radio by two jabronis versus building my own brand and having my show being with Alex too. He's gonna kill me for that. Building up the Tailgate Talk, Boro Tailgate Talks empire with Alex, and having it already be promoted on the radio. I think that's a lot cooler, in my opinion. But I'm not gonna. It's water on the bridge now. I don't care anymore. Confidence might have been killed at the time, but it happens. It's baseball. It happens. But senior year, I mean, you were the captain, man. So what do you guys say about that year?
I mean,
A lot of crap went down. We won't say what went down, but a lot of crap went down.
no, but I mean, we had. What did we start that season? Like 0-6.
Something like that,
Yeah, and then we came back and we had a little playoff run.
Came together.
Yeah, we really came together. But I remember at the beginning of the season, I didn't even think I was gonna play.
Really?
I played.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I played
right.
on-
That's right.
I played on one leg the whole year,
That's right. I remember.
and then I don't know. It was practices were a lot of fun. We convinced Isaac to play,
That's right.
and the freshmen came up. I loved all the freshmen. I loved playing with oh my god, screwing around with Jack at practice. And Noah and Bennett, that was
We
fun.
had so much fun, but it just got frustrating at times because we also had so much talent.
And
Like
we didn't know how
like
to use
us,
it.
like our seniors, like we played together all of our lives, and
Yeah.
we just, I mean, like you said, we made it playoffs, had a little playoff run, but we could have done so much more
We could have.
because we had it there.
I mean, if you really, whenever it mattered, I remember Coach Ben it was like 4 of us down.
Yeah.
During the end of the season, he was like, if you guys don't win these next 3 games, our season's over.
Yeah.
And we weren't even in playoffs yet.
No.
And we came together and we won all 3 of them.
We were out of playoffs, and we had to
Yeah.
win 3 games, and we did it.
I mean, and then we played, what did we lose to Mercier's Prep? The number 1 team,
Number 1 team at Mercer.
4-3.
I don't remember.
5-3, something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, we came together when we had to. Mikey, you were a big part of that. You were a big glue guy. You need those guys.
I think okay. This isn't. I hope this doesn't come off as like
You
I was
screw
being.
around
I was
with-
being.
Reeves at practice every day,
Hey, that's another guy, man, who just went off that year. Reeves.
Yeah, Reeves
When he
had-
got his chance, he took it. He took it.
He should have played college baseball. He should have. Still can, Reeves.
Yeah, Jerry.
God, I hope this doesn't come out as cocky, but I feel like if I wasn't in my head and my confidence was I feel like a confident me can do a lot of things if I have confidence. Look at this show. I would not have had confidence years ago to do this. Even when I had confidence my freshman year, when I was hitting, look what happened. There's that.
Baseball's a game. Can't walk out thinking, I might strike out, or I hope the ball.
Mhm.
Not you, but just in general, anybody thinking doubts.
Yeah.
You can't doubt yourself in baseball.
And I will say this. I mean, it was a little. It may have been a little selfish at the time, but I mean, when I knew I was done, I wanted to quit so bad. I was done. I did not like playing baseball anymore. The only reason why I stayed was because it was my senior year. It's the last memories I knew I was gonna have with these guys and everybody else. So I knew I just ride it until the end. Whatever happened, happened. Would I have still have done it if going back? Maybe, but looking back at it, it might have been a little selfish. But that last game against like Mercier's Prep, you guys can take it whatever way you want. But I mean, it's 2 years later, so it really doesn't matter now. Like when we lost that game, part of me was happy. I was just, it was this nightmare of a year for me was done. It's a selfish way of looking at it. Don't get me wrong, but it was just like with everything of what I wanted to accomplish didn't happen. Like I'm gonna be real, I don't even know where my letter is that I got that year. I might have just threw it away honestly because I was so unhappy with what happened.
Can't
But
say you didn't have fun every time you came to baseball.
Yeah, that's true.
practices I had fun, but game days it was misery. But no, but you don't stay bitter forever when it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like I said, I got other things in life planned in the future, so you just move on. You move on, and look at me now. And so that's all. That's the way I look at it, and it's like I said earlier, it's water under the bridge, and yeah. But last thing, once we graduated, so far, how has your baseball career, I guess, differed from high school and little league? I guess.
A lot to learn. Still got a lot to learn. I mean, for the longest time, like everyone in high school, it's about themselves.
Yeah.
Not understanding that, like, if you go 0 for that day, like, there's other ways you can contribute to your teammates. Like, bring out their stuff when you're running onto the field with them, pick them up. Like if a guy's on second, hit a ground ball on the other side of the field, move a runner over, even though you still get out, like stuff like that. Understanding that, yeah, I mean, it's a lot better now.
But yeah. So I mean, is there anything else you guys want to talk about with playing baseball in the past?
A lot of good memories.
Now, I will say this. I'll end it with this. You said with messing with the freshmen when we were seniors. Looking back at it now, isn't it funny with how you mess with Jack?
Yeah, I know. I still mess with him, but
He was always a good sport about it, though. He would come back at us. We would go at him.
You would.
Oh yeah, he would do it to us.
But
Timmy.
get out of here.
Reginald.
Get out of here with him. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got. But is there anything you guys got coming up you want to say on the show, like any game wise, if anyone's gonna watch this, to come out to your games or whatever?
I don't have any games.
Nobody cares about you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so next week, like I said, it'll be Alex and AJ. They probably won't talk about baseball at all, which is fine. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got. It looks like we got 47, almost 48.
48 minutes.
48. Oh, we got to do paper toss. Here, hold this. All right. Here, hold it up. All right. Good night, America. We'll see you next week.